Hi, I'm Brian from Cambrian Coffee, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about brewing some coffee at home. You may have received one of these in the mail. This is a packet of 2.5 ounces of ground coffee, already pre-ground for you. This is a popular one around our shop. This is the Ethiopia Sidamo Organic. This is a single origin from Ethiopia. It's going to give you a lot of those like blueberry, lemon, lighter, fruitier flavors that you'll find in some of the African coffees. We are going to go over just a few different methods that can maybe up to your home coffee game. The three methods I want to talk to you a little bit about would be a French press. A lot of you have seen these. We also have a Hario V60 and a Kalita Wave. Starting first on the French press, this is going to replicate a really good drip cup of coffee. It's nice, it's big, it can make you at least a couple cups you can share with somebody. It makes a really nice smooth cup. For this grind size, you're going to be looking at probably like a medium to a coarser grind. And basically, you are going to measure out your coffee, you're going to put it in there, and the whole idea behind this is once you add your hot water, you are going to let it brew, and then at the end, you actually force the water away from the grinds that are at the bottom and have your coffee in this area right here using a filter pushing down on them. Really nice, really popular. People really like this method for home brewing. These two methods look very similar, but they actually couldn't be much more different. This is going to be your Hario V60 and your Kalita Wave. These are both Japanese methods. Again, look very, very similar from the outside, but when you look inside, that's where you're really going to see the difference. This Hario V60, for example, has a swirl pattern in it and a very large hole at the bottom. That is going to put the water very quickly through the grinds. The Hario V60 is going to make you a cup that tastes very clean, juicy, full of more like fruity notes, pulling a lot of the fruity notes because it goes through the grinds a little more quickly. The Hario V60, on the other hand, the Kalita Wave is going to have the ripples on the inside. That's going to slow your water down, and it's only going to go through these 3 little holes at the bottom. So that water is going to sit on those grinds a little bit longer. It may cover up some of the crazy fruity aspects, but it's going to give you much more body. Slower flow rate is going to give you more complexity and get more body to that cup. So really, of all these 3 methods, everybody has different opinions, different people are fans of different ones. They're all 3 great, just all a little bit different, all pair well with different types of beans. Talk about grind size. This is going to be, again, more medium to coarse grind. If you have a really good grinder at home, that's probably one of the most important tools you can have, or you can take whole beans to some coffee shops will grind them for you. Just tell them what the use is for. The V60 is kind of in between these two. It's more of a medium grind, very similar to drip coffee. And then this guy right here, the Kalita Wave, is going to be finer, almost a table salt grind. That's going to be really fine. It's also worth mentioning, whereas this one has a filter built into it, these two actually have their own filters that fit these perfectly. The Kalita Wave is going to have what looks like just a small regular coffee filter that drops into it. The Hario V60 is going to have a nice conical, very popular filter that can actually be folded over and opened up and placed inside it like that. As I mentioned, you may have had some of this Ethiopia Sidamo dropped off at your door. This is pre-ground for kind of a more fine grind, and for this particular exercise, we're going to run it through the Kalita Wave. I would recommend you getting a nice gooseneck kettle, but you can use any hot kettle you have. The better the kettle, the more you're going to be able to really dial in the temperature. Temperature is also another big factor when it comes to brewing your coffee. People choose different temperatures, anywhere between like 199 and 205 degrees. Some people say 202 is perfect. It really just depends. You can play around with grind size, with temperature, all those things to get the perfect cup. So what would keep you from getting a perfect cup? There are 2 major things that can really mess things up for you, and they are under extraction and over extraction. If you under extract your coffee, you may find that you're getting a more sharp or sour taste. That means Under extracting means you didn't pull enough out of the coffee, the water went through it more quickly. Over extraction means it sat on a little bit too long. Thinner body, maybe hollow flavors, not really picking up what you think you should out of the coffee. Those are your two big things you want to look out for. They can vary based on the time, method, and temperature that you use. So, for this demonstration, we're going to make coffee on the Kalita wave method. You probably don't have one of these in your house, but we find it really helpful over here when we get in a hurry. It replaces a traditional gooseneck kettle or a kettle for adding the water. We actually program this to have several infusions of the hot water perfectly dialed into the right temperature over our grounds. So what we're going to do for this, we're going to make 1 cup of coffee. So we're going to go ahead and measure out 25 grams of the beans you were sent. Again, that's already pre-ground. We get that to where we're happy. And right about there. 25 grams right there. You can smell, that's always nice. And what we're going to do before we start is, I mentioned you have that nice filter in here. You're going to go ahead and wash some hot water through that filter before you do anything else, because that is going to not only prepare the filter, but it's also going to wash out any tiny little flavors that might be in that that paper filter. It's nice to give it a good soak of hot water first, and then also it's you know, getting maybe that super hot or not as hot water that's stuck there at the beginning of the kettle ready for it. So do that guy. Then we're going to go ahead and add our coffee grounds right on top. We're going to go ahead and place that on there, see how that works. And you're going to see your first infusion of water on top of those grinds. And that first infusion is going to create in the coffee what we call the bloom. That'll soak those grounds. You might see them puff up. They're actually releasing any additional gases that are left over in the coffee beans. A lot of it will escape once it's been ground, but the rest of it will actually puff up as it soaks in the water and releases all those other gases. We call that the bloom. Actually makes a really nice smell as well. So then again, this is simulating what you would be doing with a gooseneck kettle. This is going to do it for you. That is your first major infusion of hot water that we've programmed to go over the grinds. That's going to continue on for the better part of about 3 minutes and approximately 4 more infusions of water into those grinds. And there you go. Now's the fun part. Enjoying the payoff of all that hard work. Suggest black, but again, we never judge. Great. We hope you enjoyed this, and if you ever find yourself in Houston, Texas, please stop by and say hello. Thank you.